All right, my name is Carlton Ferris, and I'm going to be talking to y'all about sushi. First off, the history and culture of sushi. Sushi was known originally as a way of preserving food. Fish was fermented with salt and placed in rice, which allowed people to keep the fish edible for some time. The rice was discarded while the fish was eaten if needed. Around the 7th century, the method eventually headed to Japan after spreading throughout China. Nutrient composition on average, sushi is about 323 calories, has 17.5 grams of fat, 53 grams of carbs, 16.7 grams of protein, 4.2 grams of fiber. It also includes 5 milligrams of calcium, 45 milligrams of magnesium, 270 milligrams of match, 380 milligrams of potassium, vitamin A, B, and B3. It is also extremely rich in omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Relationship to disease. When enjoying sushi, it contains raw fish. It is important to be aware of the health risks. These can include a consuming disease causing bacteria or parasites. These could be caused by a worm like I'm gonna butcher this word, but Ansakis, or a bacteria such as Salmonella or Listeriosis. I think that's how you say it. Many of these infectious infections can cause digestive symptoms, including diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. In some cases, they can lead to more serious conditions that require hospitalization. Ingredients, just specifically talking about a California roll, which is one of the most basic types of sushi. It's one of the easiest to make as well. It's a combination of shredded crab meat and thinly sliced cucumber wrapped up in nori, which is dried seaweed, and rice. And sometimes they add like little orange fish eggs on top. Agriculture, as the seasons change, so does the choice of sushi in Japan. In the summer, alabone, horse mackerel, and the sample taste of sea bass highlight menus. Come winter, dinners look eagerly to savoring fat-rich chutoro and otoro. Here in the US, dinners less swayed by outside temperatures when ordering sushi. Typically in the US, the menu stays the same year round and you just order whatever. Sushi is very easy to get your hands on almost anywhere, whether it's a grocery store or going to a local sushi restaurant, especially here in the US. Since a lot of types of sushi require fish, it is hard to say how sustainable a type of sushi is, whether if there's a shortage of fish or that raw fish ends up carrying some sort of pesticide or parasite. Preparation to make sushi: 1 cup of uncooked short grain white rice, 3 tablespoons of white vinegar, 3 tablespoons of white sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 4 sheets of nori seaweed sheets, half a cucumber peeled cut into small strips, 2 tablespoons pickled ginger, 1 avocado, half-pound imitated crab meat flaked. That was way too hard to say. And then the directions: in a medium saucepan, bring 1 1/3 cups water to a boil, add rice and stir. Reduce heat, cover and simmer for 20 minutes in a small bowl. Mix the rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. Blend the mixture into the rice. Preheat oven to about 300 degrees or 150 degrees Celsius. On a medium baking sheet, heat nori in the preheated oven for 1 to 2 minutes until it's warm. Center 1 sheet nori on a bamboo sushi mat. Wet your hands. Using your hands, spread a thin layer of rice on the sheet of nori and press into the thin layer. Arrange 1/4 of the cucumber, ginger, avocado, and imitation crab meat. Making sure I'm saying that right, sorry. Imitation crab meat and a line down the center of rice. Lift the end of the mat and gently roll over the ingredients, pressing gently. Roll it forward and make a complete roll. Repeat with the remaining ingredients. And then once you have each of those rolls, you cut each roll into 4 to 6 slices using a wet, sharp knife. Tasting. I personally have always been a fan of the California roll, which is made of crab instead of fish. I have tried sushi with raw fish, and I do think it tastes good, but this is kind of weird, but the thought of just having that much raw fish just, I don't know, like the texture and stuff doesn't sit right with me. I like the California roll because it's like a subtle taste and it isn't too fishy. I believe that it's perfect for someone who is like trying sushi for the first time and doesn't like the taste of fishy things. And typically everyone knows the proper way to eat sushi, um, or anything in like the Japanese culture is with chopsticks. Here's a picture. I went to I'm having a brain fart right now, but it's an Asian or a sushi restaurant downtown off Gay Street. Literally could not tell you what it is right now. I can't think of it, but this is the picture I took, and that is California rolls. Comparison, the first comparison that I think right off the bat is how I eat sushi versus how the normal person in Japanese culture would eat sushi. Are the use of chopsticks. I personally do not use chopsticks while eating sushi like most would. It is not viewed in American culture as odd for someone to use chopstick or to use their hands or fork instead of the alternate. Another major tradition that I particularly do not participate in is the use of soy sauce and wasabi. Just not my cup of tea. And here are my references. Thank y'all so much. That is the end of my presentation.